Autism Canada depends on the generous support of viewers like you. If you find this presentation helpful, consider donating at autismcanada.org.
Lois is passionate about working with the special needs community. She found her calling while in high school, and she spent many summer breaks volunteering in camp programs for children with special needs. Lois is a speech-language pathologist with over 2 decades of experience, specializing in working with children with autism and assistive technology. Lois also has a special interest in animal-assisted therapy, and it's not unusual for her pot-bellied pig, Buttercup, to accompany her to therapy sessions. And if you go on Lois's website, there's a very cute picture of Buttercup there. Lois is also the author of Apps for Autism and Speech in Action. She's also the host on Autism Today TV and the founder of Rancho La Paz, a ranch for individuals with autism and their families. Lois is joining us from California today. Please join me in welcoming Lois Jean Brady.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I got 2 pointers today. So I'm Lois Brady, and my presentation is Apps for Autism. I typically give full-day presentations, and they are available on the Canada Autism website. So the full presentation, the full whole-day presentation is there. I've taken it and tried to whittle it down to 90 minutes, and that's what you're going to see today. So let's get started, because there's a lot to do in 90 minutes.
Hello, everyone. I would like to remind you all to please silence your phones. Unless, of course, you're feeling lucky. Please welcome Lois Jean Brady.
That's my friend Clint Eastwood. Actually, I took his photo and I put it into a photo animation app, and I created that, and I thought it was so incredibly fantastic that if we could take photos of our students and put them into the same photo animation app, and they could be able to say their own words rather than just touching buttons and the box say the words. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about that, and that will be out sometime next week on the market. So, okay, so she's already told you all about me, Apps for Autism, Lois Jean Brady, and I just wanted to show you Buttercup. I saw a dog here, and I know I've seen, being in Canada, this is my first time, a big love affair with dogs. I was really impressed to see dogs everywhere and water bowls everywhere, so I thought I'd bring along Buttercup. Okay, this little guy represents why I do this, why I got into technology. I had a favorite student, his name is Michael. At 4 years old, Michael's doctors told his mom to put him into an institution. He would never communicate. He would, his behaviors would just get worse. He would eventually end up hurting her or a family member, and she refused to do that. I got Michael when he was about 5 years old, and this is way before iPads, and I struggled for about 2 years with this young man. He really did have some severe behaviors. He was nonverbal, a lot of repetitive stuff, took off his shoes, ran out the door, all that behavior that you spend a lot of time trying to remediate. So one day I walk in, I had just gotten my brand new iPhone, and this is when they first came out, and I saw him on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's he gonna do? So I go running over there, and I just happened to look over his shoulder, and he was using it. He was using it appropriately. He was filing through my apps, and he was looking at them. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he can actually focus and sit down and purposefully do some stuff, and this was great. So I started using computers and apps, and then the iPad came out, and he just flourished. And today he's literate, he's talking, he's writing stories, he's a beautiful young man, and he's able to tell you what he wants, what he doesn't want. So now his behaviors have really, really calmed down. He's a wonderful part of his family and the community. So that's why I do this. I'm going to start talking about a few features, some of the features that are really important for our kids on the spectrum as you're working with them, as the teachers are working with them, and at home. I'm going to go over a little bit about speech. Some of our nonverbal kids don't have speech yet, or they do have speech, but it's not volitional. So we want to go over about how to get them started producing volitional speech. I'm going to go over the communication apps, and I'm going to go over literacy and why literacy is huge and so important. Okay, so getting to know your iPad. Everyone knows the features, the home button, and where everything is. The things that I really are important for us as parents and educators is as you look at your, I'm going to do this with my pointer. As you look at your iPad, the speakers are up here. So if you're going to record into your iPad, record into the top of it. The microphone's up here, and the speakers are down here. If you're going to listen to it, listen to the bottom of it. If you have like I know in school we use birthday candle apps so the kids can blow them out. Have them blow them out in the microphone because they'll work all day trying to get them out on the face of the app and they won't go out. So, size. We have 3 sizes to choose from now. We have the phone, we have the mini, and we have the full-size iPad. And there's really 3 considerations. Number 1 is eyesight, of course. Can you see these little tiny letters and numbers? Or do you need the bigger ones? Second thing is portability. If you have an older child who's on the move all the time, maybe the iPad isn't the best choice. You want something they can quickly throw in their backpack. And the third one is motor abilities. Can your student actually hit the buttons, the tiny buttons, or do they need the bigger buttons? So as you're trying to choose which size is best, those are the 3 considerations you want to look at. Apple stores usually carry all 3 sizes. If you can get there first thing in the morning before it's really crowded, you can go in and check those out. Screenshots. Screenshots are huge. They're very important. If you have a student, your child has done something really cool that day, you want to take a screenshot and save that. If you want to do sequences, you want to take a screenshot and save that. And they'll save directly into your camera roll. I'm going to go, whoops, that's not what I want to do. I'm going to go on to an app real quick here. And this is called Touch and Write. And I do this with some of my kids.
Touch and Write.
Might be a little loud. Okay, there's an L. Now, in order to get that screenshot, what I do is I hit the sleep awake button and the home button at the same time. I've just taken a picture of that. Now, what I can do with that is go and print it. And after the student has worked on the app a bit, now he can go and take a crayon or a pencil or a pen and work on it on a piece of paper. Okay, so those screenshots are kind of important. We use them all the time. Let's get back to... There we go. Okay, opening and closing apps. This is kind of important because if you open an app and then you hit the home button to close it, it never really closes. It runs, it keeps running and running and running. You need to close those down so that you save your battery life. And to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to double tap the home button. Whoops, there they are. And then you're just going to take your finger and throw them off. Okay, these are all the apps I've ran today. They will keep running. You're going to want to shut them down every 3-4 days a week, depending on how much you use your iPad, because they'll take your battery down. Okay? It also lets you, if you've opened up apps, you can kind of go through, see what you did, and then you hit on the one you want, it brings it right back up. Accessibility features. There's one that's really important. It's called guided access. This lets a parent or a teacher lock the app down. If you want your child only to have his communication app available or only to have his literacy app available and you don't want him tuning out to go to YouTube or Angry Birds, you're going to use guided access. And I'm going to walk you through the steps to turn that on. Okay, we're going to need glasses for this. So you're in your settings and you're going to be in general, which is right here. And you're going to hit accessibility. Okay? And accessibility will take you to this page. And in this page, you're going to see guided access right here. Okay? Turn it on. Mine is already on. and you'll set a passcode. Set it something easy you don't forget. I usually choose 1111 or 1234. And then you're going to go to your communication app. Let's just go to, let's do a vase. You're going to let it load up. This is really good in schools. If you want to work on some other academics, but you still want your child to have their app available to communicate. Now you're going to triple click the home button. And you're going to get a screen like this. On this screen, you're going to choose to, where is it? To just start. So if you start guided access, now your student can hit the home button, but it will not take them anywhere. They can hit it all they want.
Getting started.
And you can still work in your app. Okay, so to turn it off, you simply just hit the home button 3 more times. Put in your code. And then choose end, and end is up in this corner, okay? Really, really nice accessibility feature. Okay. There we go. Okay, speak selection. This will speak whatever you highlight. It's on every iPad. You have to turn it on. It doesn't come on automatically. You turn it on, you highlight the text, and then you simply choose to speak it. It's really nice for those emerging kids who are beginning to become literate. I find my students love it on. They highlight everything and have everything spoke to them. It will speak it as many times as they need to hear it, and they will sit there and they will do it again and again and again. It really helps put language and grammar in their heads. So it's in your accessibility section, and just turn it on. Invert colors. A lot of our kids this works for. It doesn't work for everyone. In your accessibility section, all you have to do is turn it on, and it takes the colors and it inverts them. And it really helps with some kids. If you see them squinting, or those kids who have looking at everything through the side, this can help them. Okay, how do I get apps? We all know that you can get apps through the iTunes card, but did you also know that you can gift an app? I've had this work a lot of times with some of my kids who have split families. The dad wants to give an app, but he doesn't want to give the child an iTunes card because he says he doesn't know where it goes. A grandma wants to give an app for Christmas. So you go onto your Mac or your PC, and you can literally gift an app right here. When you go to buy it, you just say gift it. It's a really nice feature, really good. Okay, choosing the right app. Several ways. Came up with this quick feature matching list here. Made it specifically for parents and non-professionals in mind. Just gives you a general idea of some of the categories that you're going to want to look at when you buy an app. You're going to want to know, can you record your voice? Does it offer text-to-speech? Many kids on the spectrum prefer text-to-speech over your recorded voice. Some apps don't offer any voice at all. You don't want that. You want to at least be able to choose from a recorded voice to text-to-speech. Does it take data? If you're a therapist, that's huge. We take data all the time. And if the app takes data for you, that's just one less thing to worry about. You're going to want to know what, does it involve pinching, dragging, sliding, what motoric features does it involve? And you're going to check that down, and that's going to help you at least narrow down your app list a little bit. Okay, there's the set framework. I'm going to go through that. You need to look at your students, who's using the app, what do they need to do with it, what environment are they going into, the tasks. What kind of task are you going to ask that student to do? Is it language? Is it communication? Are you creating books? You know, those are things to consider when you get apps. But here's the one I really want to drive home is how complicated is it? There's some apps out there that are complicated. They get abandoned, almost abandoned like the big boxes we used to have to use. So if the app requires too much programming and it's too difficult for everyone to use, then it's too complicated. You don't want to get it. Okay, and then there's an app that evaluates apps. It's called AAC Evaluation Genie. Believe it or not, and it gives all those categories. It gives you very specific information. How many pictures to use per page? Do you want the picture? Do you want real pictures? Do you want icons? Do you want words? Can you use 4 pictures? This is a really nice app for evaluating. Someone who does that all the time may want to look into this. It gives you some good information. Motivation. We all seen that. When I first started, this is maybe 20 years ago, we had drawers full of this stuff. Candy, we were reinforcing with candy. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I really don't like it to reinforce with candy. Since I got my iPad, haven't bought a Cheeto, I haven't bought a Skittle, no goldfish. The iPad is the reinforcement. These children are now working to work on the iPad. So it's been really nice. And I have an example of a little girl to show you just how motivating the iPad is. This little girl's name is Cindy. She came in, and this is her first week. I did this filming, and she's one of those girls who she tips over everything. She knocks it down. She's in constant movement. She's just moving around like a whirlwind. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I get her to sit down? So I showed her the iPad, and I'm going to let you see what Cindy does with it. She's playing Itsy Bitsy Spider. You notice she's sitting, she's calm, she's focused, and she's trying to vocalize. Touch the spider. This is still in one sitting. She's been 45 minutes. This is a little girl who would not sit down. And you're going to see her try to sing with this song. So that was Cindy. That was her first week. She actually met and exceeded that goal, but the iPad was there and brought in the other girl, and pretty soon they're playing together. Now we have shared attention, all in one day, things that were not accomplished in her whole little life. So it can be powerful. It can be very powerful. Okay, So let's go over some apps. First, we need to get these kids to the table. Sometimes that in itself can be a challenge. As I'm going over these apps, I need you to know these are not my choices. These are the choices of the students. I merely show them, work with them, and the students will really take the lead and show me which ones they like and which ones they'll use. The first top one, Shape Builder, gets them to the table every single time, whether they're little ones like Cindy, teenagers, or even I have some young adults. So I'm going to show you what Shape Builder is. It's so incredibly simple, yet it's almost like an icebreaker where they learn, oh my gosh, I can do something. Shape Builder. Okay, we're going to hit play. And basically all you do is you just move and drag the shapes in. And then after you get all that done, I'm going to show you what they really love. And this is the part that really, I think, gets them. It turns into
17
something.
hearts.
And then it moves on to the next one. Okay, so it is a little juvenile, but it really catches some of my older students who they're not writing yet, they're not talking yet, they're 22 years old, yet they've just learned that, oh my gosh, I can actually move something and it works and I can do it and I'll finish it, and they grab the iPad from me and I don't see them again. So it's wonderful. And then the next one they learn to do from that, and believe it or not, this one is a literacy app. But my students love it so much that it has become a reinforcing app. So now I've won. Now I'm teaching them a lesson, and for their reinforcement, they're doing more of the lesson.
One.
So they just drag up.
N-E-O-N-E. One.
And it's that simple. Now I'm going to tell you, I've had students who have been working on their ABCs for 10 years. They do this automatically. They know their ABCs already. We don't need to keep working on that. They have it. They get this app and they just start spelling away, and a lot of jaws drop to the floor on just this kind of a simple concept. It's very programmable. You can take the prompts away. You can make it auto advance. You can get longer. You can categorize it. You can only work on colors or only work on animals. It's a really nice app to have, and those of us who are speech therapists or teachers, you can pick your own targets. Sometimes we like working on just specific things, so you can pick your own targets. Okay, and that one is called First Words, and that's a bring them to the table. They hear that little spin out, and oh my gosh, they come running. Okay, and then of course we know there's Temple Run, Angry Birds. Let me file through here. That always gets them. My gosh, if nothing else will get them, Temple Run. Here's these kids. They're playing regular teenage games, and they're doing really, really well. Photo booth. They love taking pictures of themselves, making crazy faces. And then we always take it a step further. We send the picture off to mom or dad or someone else. So now they're emailing their pictures to a family member, and they get to talk about it when they go home. It's kind of nice. Monster at the end of the book. This one gets them. It's really fun. I'm going to take a minute to show you the monster because, again, they're learning literacy. Oops, I must have spelled that. There it is, monster. And he's going to open up, and it's just going to be Grover. And it's so fun and motivating that they will sit and listen to an entire complete book. I'm going to show you one of their favorite pages right here. They will wait and anticipate this page. They just love it.
This will stop you from turning pages. A heavy, thick, solid, strong brick wall. I would just like to see you try to turn this page.
Okay, so now at this point you can build in whatever language you want. You can get them to say, it's my turn, can I try? Where's Grover? You can build on a lot of things, but basically they're just going to tap the wall, and it just breaks down. And they love it. Absolutely love it. And I'm going to tell you that after we do that for like 5 times, then guess what they get to do? They get to do this. And they get to turn the real pages, and they get to look at it. And I've had several of my students who couldn't read it all take this book home and read it to their parents, or read it in front of a class. And now they're reading, and now they're picking up all kinds of books and flipping through the pages. So don't forget to bring it into the real world. All right. Whoops, did I get the wrong one? I did. There we go. That's the monster at the end of the book. Promoting speech. Okay, the first thing we need to do is get our students to actually give us speech sounds, and not the stem sounds, real speech sounds where they're phonating for a certain length of time. I got a lot of kids who can do ba, 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 or but they can't do ba. They can't stop it. Or they do other different sounds, some yeah, 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 some screeches and stuff, yet they can't stop it or turn it into a real speech sound. So there's actually apps out there that can help you and help them mold their speech. And I'm going to show you a couple of the really fun ones. The first one's called Singing Fingers. There's a little video that goes along with this, and it's really cute, and I believe it's free.
Singing fingers, singing fingers.
Yeah.
All right, all right, all right, right.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of demonstrate some of the things one of the things we do there. Okay, this again is a highly motivating app, and it not only teaches to voice and voice on command and voice as you're moving your finger, but creativity and fun, and you're having fun, and communication's fun. We don't want to forget that. So let's create a page. Let's say I'm working on the concept up and down. And right now it's just a page. I can talk all I want. It's not going to do anything until I put my finger on it and move it. So we're gonna learn up, 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 and then we're going to learn down, down, down. So that's singing fingers. You can do anything you want on there. You saw how creative it can be. You can teach a lot of concepts with that. And again, that just gets them to start using their voices. Okay, there's another really great one. Let's get back to my... It's called Ah Up. Now this one will teach them, this is number one, very fun game, but it teaches them to hold their phonation. They have to say ah to get the little rocket to go up. And then when they're ready to shoot, they say pa, and it shoots out a little missile. So this is really good. They're not only learning to control, but to hold that phonation for a certain period of time. And this one is so fun, I have to show you this one too. Your kids will love it. And I believe this one may be also free. Whoops, didn't want that. I'm just now getting used to iOS 7. Anyone else have iOS 7? Yeah, it takes a little bit. It takes a little bit of getting used to. Ah, up. Okay, so we're going to play. And we're going to let it allow my microphone. That's a new feature. Oh my gosh, and I have to put in a password. Sorry about this. Like I say, it's iOS 7. That's okay. All my kids know it at school. Oh. Okay, let's go next. Sorry. Come on. Okay, I'm wondering if I'm totally locked out here. Yep, it's not gonna, oh, there it is, yes, no. I had it. Okay, stay. You know, it might not be reconfigured for iOS 7. Some of the apps, yeah, darn. We gotta wait for the update on that one. Let's just cancel. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Who said that? Thank you. Let's play. Okay, see the little rocket ship? I'm going to control it with my voice. Oops. Came over. Done. You know, actually, I think the one I wanted was called paw. We'll get it right here. That's right, that's it, paw 2. Let's try this one more time because it's worth it. This one is really worth it. We're going to cancel. Okay, this is the one that shoots. Pa. Yes, okay. I told you it was worth the wait. It's worth the wait. Pa. Yeah. Your kids will love that. Absolutely love it. Okay. This one was mostly made for speech therapists because it shows a very tight picture of the mouth and it shows the kids pronouncing the words. This one's important and I put it in because my students and my kids, they don't look at my face when I talk. They don't look at my mouth. It's just not something that students on the spectrum do. But they will look very intently at the iPad. So if I got pictures of peers, their own age, doing some movements such as chewing or just spitting, a lot of our kids can't even just spit, brushing their teeth, and then show these students these pictures, they would then be able to duplicate it. And sure enough, it works. They love it. They study these pictures of these kids doing these movements, and it starts out with just some very basic, like opening and closing your mouth, putting your tongue side to side, and it's not so much an exercise, it's more for awareness. A lot of my kids don't even, believe it or not, realize they have a tongue. They can't get their hands up to touch their own mouth, but now they can. It's kind of like an exploration for them. I want to show you one picture. This is a huge success for this little boy. And this is vast pre-speech, full length. There's all the different activities. I'm going to go into functional activities where you're blowing bubbles, you're blowing balloons, the kazoo, all those kinds of fun things that you do to promote airflow. You can blow your nose. But this is a huge success. This is blowing a kiss. And this little boy learned to blow a kiss at his mom as she's leaving the door because of this video. So he was watching it. And then you have another example. So now he blows kisses at his mom as she's leaving. And the funny part about that is I never taught him when to blow them. He always knew when to blow them. He just couldn't do it. And now he can do it. He sat there by himself and practiced that, and now he can do it. So that was pretty cool. That was a good success. Okay. So there's one that's just specifically for, once they do the pre-speech, then they step up, they do syllables, words, multisyllabic words, phrases, and sentences. And then hopefully after that, many of my students start looking at my face very closely, almost too closely. They get right here and they start getting their fingers where they want to get inside here and look inside my mouth. And it's cool, I love it. I love that they're starting to explore, but I don't really want them to do that. I try to get it back to their own mouths with a mirror. And again, it's just something that's really difficult for our kids to do. But at least they're starting to understand, my gosh, sound comes from the mouth. The mouth moves in particular ways to make a particular sound. I'm going to start trying to do that. Okay. All right, music. We found that music, whoops, got a little, okay. We found that music stimulates a lot of our students to learn. If you can hook some language into music and then fade the music away, these students really learn to speak. Sorry about the mix up there. I went from PowerPoint to Keynote and some of my slides got a little messed up. I'm only going to show you the first one because it takes you from completely singing a song to completely saying the song. And Toonville has done a really good job of creating videos that teach you how to count, they teach you social skills, how to make a friend, how to use the bathroom in song, and then taking it down to language. So I'm going to show you what that's about. Toonville is the app. And here's what it looks like. It has 4 levels.
Toes on your feet. I have 10 toes on my feet. How many months in a year? There are 12 months in a year.
So that was singing, completely singing.
How many toes on your feet?
That was leaving the key words out, and the children fill in the key words.
How many toes on your feet?
10.
How many months in a year?
12.
Okay, that was talking everything.
How many toes on your feet? How many months in a year?
And then they're prompted to say the answers. That was just a little snippet of what they do. That particular lesson is free. So if you do have a child who runs around humming, singing all the time, you might want to try to connect them into there. It's great if there's any teachers in here for circle time. Because it does teach language concepts and life lessons. Wheels on the Bus, fabulous, fabulous. Lets you record your own voice, sings in different languages. It's interactive. It's just wonderful app. This is the same thing, same concept, except with this concept, you're singing songs rather than saying words. And again, this is for our kiddos who are hooked into music. Okay, communication. This is really kind of our bread and butter of the iPad, is having our kids be able to communicate. Which communication app is right for me? I hear that question all the time. It's a big question. I think there's now over 200 on the market. How do you choose? It's really difficult. I'm going to tell you, I've used many of them with many students. The students will learn what you show them. They will learn if you show them Proloquo, they'll learn Proloquo. If you show them Touch Chat, they'll learn Touch Chat. They'll learn what you know. You're teaching them. So pick an app that you're comfortable with, that mom's comfortable with, that everyone can, number one, program. It's not too difficult. I've seen Touch Chat get pushed aside. It's a $250 app. Parents got it, but couldn't program it. You know, they don't know what to do. Brought it to school. Of course, the therapist, we have a little bit of time. We put in a couple pictures there. So eventually it gets pushed to the side. Make sure there's someone in their environment who can program it for them. Some of the 2 big ones that we know, Come on. I like comparing a Rolls and Bentley. TouchChat Pro Lo Quo. Those are the big ones. Those are the ones over $200. Those are the ones that have 10,000 words in their vocabulary, and people are always saying, which one, which one? You know, it doesn't matter. Just pick one and then use it and know how to use it. TouchChat is this one. It looks very similar to a lot of the Dynavoxes, Prenti Romkey stuff out there. It's 100% customizable. It's beautiful. They use the stick figures. You can import your own pictures. They have a keyboard. Love those keyboards with word prediction, great word prediction. Here's their support. They have all this support. You want to know why? Because they need it. It's a difficult app. If you really are into it with your child, that's excellent. You get this app because they're going to learn a lot. If you're not going to want to go through all these little webinars and articles and tutorials, this may not be the one for you. Proloquo is another one. I use this one because it was the first one out. It's the one I started using, so I'm very familiar with it. A lot of my parents can't use it, though. They bring their iPads to me, and I have to take them home and program them overnight and bring them back to school. It's a little bit difficult. But again, it's 100% customizable. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Here's a new one I was talking about earlier where we actually take the child's photo and animate it. So now the child can talk, and I kind of want to show you that. It's brand new technology. It's just taking AAC like one step further. And as you know, anything that first comes out on the market comes out fairly expensive. This one's going to start at $19.99. So it's a good choice, and I just want to show you what the little animation pictures look like. Okay, so this is a photo of this little girl, and you can see how she's moving. It's a photo. It's incredible. I'm going to take my finger and put it on her right side, and she'll follow it a little bit. Okay? So you can teach some yeses and nos there. We're going to get her to talk.
I want.
And we're going to say an apple.
I want an apple.
Okay? So now they're not just hearing a voice come out of nowhere. They're seeing a voice come out of their own face. We can take this to settings. Whoops. And you can pick any avatar you want. Or you can bring in your own avatar. You can bring in mom, dad, brother, anyone that would really motivate your student to communicate. Great thing about this is everyone loves this. You go to someone and you talk to them and they see your own face moving, you're going to create an environment that makes communication fun. Everyone gets so excited. Oh my gosh, look at this. Did you see her talk? If you choose the puppy and have the puppy talk, that really promotes the students to want to go and say things. They get so excited about this app. So this one's going to be on the market probably next week. Just got submitted to iTunes, and again, it's the price has really dropped. It's $19.99. You can create your own vocabulary there also. So you don't have to use the basic or the core words. Yet those are two very good vocabularies. You can create your own, or you can use text-to-speech. That's where you should be driving your kids, is the text-to-speech anyhow. This lets them create their own unique thoughts without having to press pre-programmed buttons. Most of my kids will advance through the buttons into text-to-speech, and they do so fairly well. And these are kids who are not talking yet, or who are labeled profound and learning their ABCs for 10 years. They can learn to spell. So anyway, that's Inner Voice, new one out on the market. Oh, you want to see dog talk? What would a dog want? Where is it? Oh, there it is.
I want an apple.
He would probably say, let's back it up. And this is a really nice thing about having the keyboard right there. I can put in I want, and now I want us to... Okay, whoops. Yep, that's what I want. Okay, I want to take a walk.
I want to take a walk.
Okay. So they can start with the buttons, switch to the keyboards. There is an icon right there at the top. that allows you to go from button to keyboard instantaneously. So you're not actually checking out of this page and going to another page. You can move back and forth rather quickly. Keyboard buttons. So it just allows them to be able to create a little bit more personalized messages. Say we never thought to put pineapple in there. Your student really loves pineapple. Okay, he's going to learn how to spell pineapple, and I know that they can learn to spell because I had students learn to spell Judge Judy because they love Judge Judy with nothing else. So if they really love something, they're going to learn how to spell it. That's how, they get into YouTube, and that's how they find those places they want to go. So with the keyboard right there, they can learn to spell their favorite words. Okay. There's Inner Voice. Go Talk Now is also an excellent choice. Go Talk Now gives you the choice of the scene speak, which is over here, or the button speak, which is here. So you have choices, or you can actually take one of these buttons and implant a video. So if you want to do About Me, you can video the student saying, "Hi, my name is, and I am this many years old," and when he touches the About Me button, the video is going to come up. I think that's a really good feature to have. So you get 3 choices with Go Talk Now, and I believe it's under $100. There is a Go Talk Now free if you wanted to just take a look at it and explore it a little bit more. Sign for Me. I've had students on the spectrum and also deaf, and they come into the school where I work, and we're not a deaf school. The staff does not know sign language. I know sign language, but I can't be there 100% of the time. So this app, Sign for Me, was the bridge between the staff that didn't know sign language and the student who knew sign language. So basically you can take this guy and you can type in anything you want here. And say done, and that's my name, and he'll start signing it. I thought that was fabulous, and you can make him go slower, or you can speed him up, and you can loop him, but what's really cool is you can turn him a bit, so you can get different angles. And you can zoom in. He's a little creepy, I know. He's just a little, just hide his eyes or something. There we go. How's that? I've taken this into classes and who have signers, and the staff doesn't know how to sign. So I take this app into classes and I teach everyone how to sign. And I put it up on the board just like this. So now I'm not only teaching the student, but I'm teaching staff so that they can all communicate together and be on the same page. So he's a really good thing to have in your pocket if you have anyone that doesn't, who's a signer. Oh, whoops. Let's go back to WordTube. Where's my WordTube? Okay, let's do WordTube. Okay, WordTube is kind of a new one, and this is video-based. So you're going to learn some concepts like hi, bye, more, and every time you touch a button is going to be a video of someone saying more or someone asking for more. So there's about 3 or 4 different videos implanted in each one of those squares. You can implant your own videos into those squares. They're really kind of fun for the students to go around and do this. And I use this one more as a language app rather than a communication app, but you can use it as both. You can put in favorite things. Temple Grandin says teach different concepts in different ways. So if I'm going to work on the word run, we go out to the playground and we run around the playground and I film them. We then come in and we run to the refrigerator. And we do all 3 different running activities, put it in there, and now the student has 3 different concepts of run and is able to kind of put those together a little bit better. So it's kind of a fun app for us to do. I think it's around the $10 mark. This is a new one. This one's around the $70 mark, and it uses scenes to communicate. So it has a free trial. Go look at the free trial if you think this is going to work for you. You touch on like the star up here, and the cupboard will open and have a list of everything in the cupboard, and then you touch on what you want, cereal, and it will say cereal. This is basically what we call scene speaking. But they've really upped it because they've also implanted the ability to make sequences. So maybe if you touch on the sink over here, you can make a sequence of washing dishes or washing your hands. So this is a really handy one to have. And again, they have a free trial where you can implant one scene of your own and give it a trial, give it a test run. It's pretty good. I've had mothers tell me that their child never really looked at their kitchen until they put it on this app and really showed their child what their kitchen was. And now they see the kitchen in a whole different way. They see it as, yeah, somewhere to get food. But they really didn't know what was in the refrigerator. Mom always got the stuff in the refrigerator. So it's nice. And again, it's also language, not only communication. So those were our communication apps, kind of the bread and butter. Again, there's almost 200 of those out there right now. I wanted to show you the different features to look for. You guys know your students and your children very well. You know what features they might like. So our next is text-to-speech. This is where I want every single student to go, text-to-speech. Our kids are out there writing books now. I brought a couple along. We got Naoki from Japan, just wrote a book, This Is Why I Jump. He's nonverbal. He wrote it in text-to-speech. Carly's voice, she wrote it in text-to-speech, as well as Ito from Autism Land. These are students. These are the product of the iPad and the technology generation. These kids cannot talk. They're stimmy. They're wearing headphones. Ito still wears his headphones. Yet they're writing books. So we really need to push for literacy. We need to push them up to text-to-speech. Each one of these kids will tell you that the pictures are a stepping point for them. They never really liked them. They will use them, but they never really liked. These aren't my words. These are the words from these kids who wrote these books. That they really love being able, the freedom of text-to-speech with a really good word prediction. The word prediction is important because it takes them a very long time to find those keys and to hit them. So if you can have a really good smart word prediction, it's going to help them along that much more. So, that being said, Ricky's story. This is one of my own students, Ricky. He's in junior high, cute boy. He talks under his breath. You can't hear what he's saying when he talks. You can tell that he is aware of his environment. He watches you come in the door. He sees noises. He watches. But when he goes to talk, it's a mumble under his breath. And when he does that at school, what happens? Someone from across the room yells, "Speak up! We can't hear you." What does Ricky do? He just goes into himself. So one day we're doing a language lesson at the table like we always do, and I'm passing around wax paper, and the kids are saying, "Ooh, it's shiny, it's thin, it's crumply, whatever," and I get to Ricky and he just mumbles something. I'm like, oh, gosh, he's got something to say, and of course someone from across the room yells, "Ricky, speak up." And so I hand him my iPhone, and Ricky types out, "It's water resistant due to a thin layer of wax." Oh my God, the jaws hit the floor. This is a boy who they were giving him baby work. They were showing him, again, the ABCs. He already knew that. We just didn't provide him a way that he could show us. And, the good part of that story is Dad went out that night and got him his own device, and he's able to use it since then. And he's in regular junior high, taking regular classes. So our kids know stuff that until now we really didn't know that they knew. The best word prediction out there is called Predictable. It lets you do so many different things. You can build your own folders, you can add pictures, you can add sound effects, you can send it an email, you can share. It's a really nice, robust text-to-speech app. It's a great one. It's also pretty expensive. I believe it's like $159. It's one to work up to. This is a good one. The one I use most to get my kids going is called Assistive Chat. This is the one that our friend Ito from Autism Land uses. It's got great word prediction. It's got great voices. I use it a couple times to break the cycle of echolalia, and I'm going to show you with one of my favorite students kind of how we did that. This is one of those boys who he's very echolalic. He can read, and we were using just like little strips of paper as scripts. But when the iPad came along, we were able to use this technology and really help him make some connections. So if you go up to Chris and you say, "Hi, Chris," of course he says, "Hi, Chris." And you say, "Oh, what's your name?" And he'll say, "What's your name?" And you'll say, "Oh, no, what's your name?" And he says, "No, what's your name?" So, we've all been there, and we finally just both go, and walk away. So, since Chris is literate and can type, Chris went and he created this for you guys. This whole list, these are his favorites. So he wrote those in there. And now what happens is I go, "Hi, Chris, what's your name?" And he'll touch.
My name is Chris.
Great. How old are you, Chris?
I am 12 years old.
Right. What do you like doing?
I like swimming.
Great. What don't you like doing?
I don't like riding the bus.
Good. I don't either. Who's your teacher?
My teacher's name is Ben.
Great. So now he's having a conversation. And the really cool thing is about, 3 or 4 times in, he's not looking at the iPad anymore. The next time he can put it down, now he can have a conversation with me. He's learned what kinds of things to say. So we'll go and we'll add more to it and change it up a little bit. But it's a really good thing for that because it does keep this nice little favorite phrase bank. And that's called Assistive Chat. Okay. Rocket Keys is a new one on the market. If you need to build an assistive keyboard, this one lets you move the keys around all different kinds of ways. You can see on the far end there, you can just build whatever kind of keyboard you want. So if that's the type of a text-to-speech you need, Rocket Keys is good for you. Tap speak buttons. These buttons where you build your phrases and then you just hit them. It's a Big Mac. It's an electronic Big Mac. Really easy to use. So if you use a Big Mac and you know how it works, this is the app for you. Tap speak button. Click and talk, talking photo albums. There's a zillion of them out there. They're not very expensive. Just pick the one that fits you. A lot of them go free. I don't know if you guys are hooked into the free apps. But developers will let their apps go free a couple times a year. I have a Facebook page, Apps for Autism. I list all the free apps. It's in the handout that's on the website. You can go there. This one is free quite often, but they're really nice. Talking photo albums is the way to go. Character talkers. Oh my gosh, your kids love these. They do there, and you can use them, you can make videos, and you can use them as like one-button switches. You can make the videos. I'm going to show you how. I've made a couple videos. Let's see. There's my talkers. Okay, so I've made 2 videos, and basically I do this for the kids who need a little extra motivation. These are kids who don't like transition. They don't want to leave the classroom. They really don't want to leave their desk area. But I want them to transition. I want them to have a fun time transitioning. I want them to know it's not hard. So we make talkers. They get to pick their favorite talkers, and there's a lot of them out there. And then we give them something to say. I think the dinosaur.
Good morning. Here's your attendance.
So if you can get the dinosaur to say that and then get the child to go down and deliver the attendance, they are so excited to do that. They'll actually leave their desk and go do it. And then this one, he is cute. A lot of my girls like this one.
Hello. Can I have a lunch ticket, please?
Okay, so these are for kids who she's not going to go ask for a lunch ticket. She's nervous about that. You give her the little puppy to go do it, and she's doing it. And then, like I say, the next week she's doing it on her own. So these are like really nice for them. Lots of fun. Okay. We got one more talker. Her name is Ginger. This is a favorite because she also helps you with some very important hygiene routine. So, actually, two very important hygiene routines. Okay, there she is. We usually skip the spinner because it spins way too long. Kids don't like that. Okay. All right, so she's a talker. Hello.
Hello.
We are going to touch on, don't say it.
We are going to touch on, don't say it.
Brush your teeth. We're going to brush our teeth. So now she's got her toothbrush in her mouth and the countdown goes, and you can take your finger and move it around. And you can talk about, oh, you need to brush for 60 seconds and blah, 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 and get behind the teeth. And the students, what I do sometimes, and I know brushing teeth isn't really for speech therapists, but the concepts are important. And it's really important that kids learn to brush their teeth, so I never shy away from things like that. But so you get them with their toothbrush at the same time. So now they're doing it, and pretty soon again, Ginger goes away, and they're brushing their teeth. And it's kind of fun. If Ginger can do it, you can do it. And you can give her a shower. It's really cute. And then you can blow dry her. There's not a kid who doesn't like that. Now you take, here's the one I was talking about, the other really important hygiene. It's just simple. All they do is they just roll the toilet paper. But it gives you an opportunity to say how important it is. You need to do this, and here's the toilet paper, and just kind of breaks the ice about using the restroom. Okay, that's Ginger. I think she's free, but if you don't want the ads, it's 99 cents. And that's how most of the talkers are. They're free, but then you pay 99 cents to get rid of the ads. It's a good deal. It's a good bargain. Okay, Leonard there, he has if you can see, a windmill and some bubbles. So you can work on breath support for those speech therapists out there. And he's a lot of fun. You can do all those fun things down below, blow out the candles and eat and drink and all that fun stuff. Okay, accessories. This is one of my favorite topics. iPad cases. Which one do you get? There's certain considerations. Are you going to drop it? Do you need a case? Do you not need a case? This is a chart. It's in the handout that's on the website. Just kind of helps you. I'm all wired up, but I'm using this grip case right here. Love it. Used it for 2 years. It's not broken. It's been bitten, but it's not chewed on. There's no teeth marks, I should say. It's wonderful. It has this great stand for desktop work. You can drop it. If I wasn't all connected with wires, I'd drop it right now. It's 100% droppable. And it's even spillable. And what we mean by spillable is if you have it upside down, the liquid just kind of runs under it. Nothing's going to be waterproof on the face, but this one's spillable for tabletop. So this is a good choice. It lets me not let go. I can have one hand firmly on this. If this is a student I don't know, or I don't think I'm going to get my iPad back because these kids love these things, I don't have to let go. Or if I have a student who is dropping on me and I can't get from one place to the other, well, I take one end, the student takes the other end, and we just walk on down. iPads are really motivating. You can use them. I could put on the song Wheels on the Bus, and then we walk with the iPad down to wherever they need to go. So grip case, highly recommended. They also have grip case for minis. Eyeballs. Here's another one, highly recommended. This is called Eyeballs. It's also droppable. The thing about Eyeballs is it comes in this bag where you put it in the bag and it does not come out. So if you have a student who needs a carrying case because they're communicating and they're moving around a lot, you can use this eyeballs one. It's very secure. So now they can use their iPad and still carry it around. It's very nice. I have a little movie about eyeballs that I got off YouTube. I wouldn't try this at home. Just to show you how durable they are.
We can demo this in store. Nothing.
See?
No damage.
Now, I wouldn't be brave enough to do that, but they did, and again, these cases are pretty durable. Big grips. My OT loves big grips. The OT I work with loves big grips because it gives them really something kind of sensory to grab onto. The grips are a little bit squishy, and she loves the fact that they have stands and they stand up nice and really pretty sturdy on the table. If you look at my grip case, it's a little wobbly. But the big grips, if you're doing a lot of tabletop work, they hold that iPad in there much more sturdy. So that's available out there. Lots of nice, pretty colors for all of these. There's switches available. Not too many of my kids on the spectrum use switches, but if you have a student who needs a switch, they are available. They're out there. And there's apps that work with them, and they're trying to make more and more apps switch available. Apple TV. This lets you hook up your iPad wirelessly, so if you were doing a whole class lesson, you could hook up to a projector and then walk around and let your students take turns, brainstorm, read a book. It's pretty nice if you're for circle time. I use it a lot for that. Styluses. We don't want to, even though we're speech therapists, we're not occupational therapists and parents, we don't want to forget about styluses. We were always taught that, hand first, and once they start using their hand, then they're good enough, then you put a pencil in their hand, and once they can use a pencil, you can put a pen in their hand. I have a video of a boy that tells me just the opposite. This boy was contracted. He had a hard time getting his finger out there, and I'm going to show you this video, which for some reason I had it at the right spot at the right time. I'm so glad I got this. So he's struggling with his hand, and he can't get it to work. And he's starting to get a little frustrated. I just handed him a stylus. That same moment, okay? Yeah, he's excited. So don't forget about styluses. They come in a couple lengths. The longer ones, they can still grab like this. They come in little short ones, and again, the OT I work with tells me that really supports the tripod grasp. So if you're working on that, start with the little short ones, and then go into the longer ones. Those are a lot of fun. They do pick at the ends, so be careful about that. Amazon sells them big bags. They're pretty cheap if you have someone who likes to get that sensory off the end there. QR code. Brand new product. This one is so new that it's not even in the handout. These are, I don't know about here in Canada, but in the States, we have had a ton of kids just wandering away and then either finding them days later or not finding them at all, or finding them, unfortunately, in a stream or something. So this lady came up with this QR code. And basically it's on a t-shirt. Because we know our kids don't like to wear bracelets or necklaces. So you have this code on a t-shirt, and when you scan it with your iPhone, anyone can scan it. It will tell you who the child is and where to take the child. And you can even set it up with real-time information. Like the last time I was with Michael, he was at the fair at 3 o'clock today. So you can really set this up with real-time information. It's to me, I thought when I saw this, I'm like, oh my God, that's so perfect for our kids. They don't have to say anything or do anything. It's all there. You can put any information you want on the code or leave information out for privacy. Really nice product. And we all have those scanners. They're free. You can get those scanners for free. If you don't have a scanner, you just go to the website and punch in the code number. And there's even clips. So if they don't want to wear the t-shirt for some reason, they're not into blue, you can put the clip back here on their shoulder, they won't even know it's there. Especially if you're going out somewhere important or with a lot of crowd people and lots of sensory. iKeyboard, we have an iKeyboard. This is the closest thing we have to the, oh gosh, what's that called? Where that blocks your keys, your fingers from the keys. I forget the name of it. Anyway, that's a product, it clips on magnetically. So I have one of those if anyone wants to come and see it. I think it's in one of my cases. Anyone has a student that needs a finger guard, thank you. Gloves. These are important for two reasons. One of them, of course, is to keep your hands warm. And the other one is if you're working with a student, again, who does not have finger isolation, you can put a glove on with only the fingers you need. And if a different part of their hand hits the screen, it's not going to activate it. They have beautiful gloves for sale. Some of my kids don't want to wear the raggedy old gloves, but some of them don't mind, so I just cut fingers out of my old gloves and they use these. So there's two ways you can go about it. If you have a student who's continually activating the screen with the palm of their hand or a different finger, consider putting a glove on them for a while until they can get that isolation. Come on. Screen protectors. This one is anti-glare. A lot of my kids end up kind of stimming in the screen because of the reflection and it's a bit bright. Consider an anti-glare screen protector. They really cut down on that glare and help with that stimming. Okay, now we all know that these accessories are all brand new. You go out and you buy them, they're great. But we don't want to forget about one of our favorite accessories, and I have, again, a video to show that. Away. That's cute. Okay. Literacy. Oh, sorry about the slide, got a little messed up again. Literacy is huge, and like I said, some of the kids that you wouldn't think of teaching literacy to or have never been taught literacy are learning to read and write with some of these apps, and it's really good because there's tons of literacy apps on the market. This is just a few of them. These are the ones I use, again, because these are the ones that my students love. The reason I teach it, again, here's Carly and Ito. I did a little bit of video about Ito because I thought his video was particularly poignant. In his book, Ito in Autism Land, it's really nice. He speaks with a little bit, Carly speaks, she's very beautiful and she speaks with a great voice. Ito speaks with a little bit of a bitter voice. He's a little bit upset with us. He's going to tell us what he likes and he doesn't like. He's going to say, yeah, you know, my speech therapist was great, but I wish she would have done this. I wished my OT would have done this. He's going to tell you exactly what he thinks about ABA. And it comes as a little bit of surprise to some of us. So he's really kind of telling you, gosh, come on, we're not, you know, we're in here, we can all do this. We've been teaching ourselves to read and write for years. I'm done with the ABCs and don't give me another baby book. So it's a really good book, and I want to show you what drew me to Ito.
He is considered severely autistic, but this teenager who can barely talk is defying all the expectations right now. He is learning to express his emotions through an iPad. And now he's making a lot of people realize what autistic kids are really capable of.
16-year-old Ito Kadar is autistic. He flaps his arms. He has difficulty controlling his body. He can barely speak. It's easy to think he's mentally inept. Nothing could be further from the truth. Beneath Ito's erratic exterior is an alert young man, intelligent beyond his years. He wants desperately to be understood, but he's unable to speak his thoughts, and no one knew that. Now, amazingly, he uses an iPad to communicate. He types in each letter, and when he's done, the iPad reads out what he's written.
My joy because I escaped my prison.
And once he learned, he shared all the things he kept inside for so long.
Voice. Life without communication is like you have no voice.
With his newfound voice, he's giving unique insight into what it feels like to be autistic through his blog and his book, Ito in Autism Land.
I want people to understand that not speaking is not the same as not thinking.
And he's wowing people with his insight.
He's on a mission because he's trying to change the world for other people who he believes are still trapped the way he once was.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I got a lot of those kids at school now, and I look at them in a totally different light. I'm working as hard as I can to bring them literacy, bring them iPads, and it's working. A lot of them are there. You know, this young man had a lot of support initially. His mom was there the whole time, and she's the one who realized he could read or spell. And she really worked on the literacy, reading, writing, spelling, reading, spelling, reading. And so that was his force. But there's a lot of kids out there who, you know, need that. And so that's my push, literacy, please. And here's some of the apps that are going to help you. Sentence Maker, Little Speller. We're going to just show Little Speller here. Little Speller, there we go. No thanks, no thanks. Let's play.
Lid.
Okay, so this is like taking your flashcards to a whole new level. Now instead of just saying, what is this, or what's this, or touch this, or point to this, now they're actually spelling it.
L. D. Well done. You spelled the word lid. L-I-D. Rug. And
then it goes to the next one, and it's incredibly flexible. You can put in as many letters. You could take the RUG prompts away, and you can make it only go left to right, or you can have it randomized. The really nice thing about this is you can put in your own pictures. So you have your student, your child walk around home, you have them walk around the campus, you let them take pictures of their favorite people, places, and things, and then you put them in this app, and now they're spelling them. They're not just looking at a static picture and labeling anymore, they're learning to spell. So Little Speller is really nice, very flexible. They have Little Speller sight words also. Okay, so that's Little Speller. New spin on flashcards. The Sentence Maker is the same kind of thing, except instead of spelling words, you're putting sentences together. So here you go with I can swim. You're going to put that together. It gives you lots of flexibility, and you can import your own sentences also. So if you have your child take a picture of shoes, Now he can put it into little speller. He can spell shoes. And then he can take that same picture, drop it into Sentence Maker, and say something like, these are my shoes, or the shoes are blue, or blue shoes. And now he's building up sentences, language, and grammar. So those two work really well hand in hand together. Little readers, same kind of thing. You get these pictures and you just match them up to the words, and that's kind of a check and balance to see, are they really learning how to spell the word or not? That's how I use it after we do a few times. Can they match those up real quickly? And they can. It's amazing. It's amazing. They'll get them right off the bat, especially if they're their own pictures, the ones that they have walked around and taken. Bob Books. I love Bob Books. This is a reading program that is in all your bookstores, and it's meant for anyone to start reading. So it's, whoops, I did it again, didn't I? Bob Books. Flexible, different levels, different prompt levels. We're going to play. I don't know what it was on last, but we're going to touch Matt.
Matt.
And now I spell him. So now they're learning phonics also.
Matt. Matt sat.
Okay, so now they're reading, and the cool thing about the Bob Books also is now you take them to the Bob Books, and now they're reading real books because this app series follows along the Bob Books series. They're learning to read just like any other student would. So that's Bob Books. There is a set 1 and a set 2. And they love the interactivity of spelling the words. That's what catches them. You will catch them playing Bob Books on their own free time. Oops. Starfall ABC. We all know starfall.com, and the kids love that. Kids who cannot manage a mouse or a keyboard, get them Starfall ABCs. They love it. I've had kids learn Starfall ABCs, and then right after that, in about a week or so, transition to the mouse and the keyboard. Oh my gosh, now they're doing a desktop and an iPad. So now I've just bumped them up a level. I've just given a little more flexibility. This is really good for teaching literacy. A lot of fun too. Lots of great animations, a lot of fun. You have 5 minutes? Oh. I got more to say. Got more. Booksy, level book readers. Just like the ones you see in the store. It starts at level 0, goes to level 5. It'll read it for you, or you can have the student read it, and then it asks you some comprehension questions at the end. Really nice level reader series. Touch and Write, one of my favorites. I think I'll take the moment to show this one. Touch and Write. Okay, kids love this one. I've had a kid sit in the window in a beanbag, in a sunbeam, spend 2 hours. He couldn't write before. Spend 2 hours on this app. He came out learning how to write. He really learned how to control his fine motor ability because this app was so darn motivating for him. So what we're going to do, we're going to say write. And before I go, you can choose to write in whatever you want. My gosh, you can write in ketchup. You can write in syrup. You can write in whipped cream. It's amazing. So we're going to choose what my students choose most of the time would be whipped cream. And we're going to go down. You hear that? They love it.
Ow.
Okay, and if you really want to get creative, you can choose the background. So they can choose any background they want, or you can make this into an expressive, receptive language thing. We're going to choose, let's just choose white paper again.
Oh.
Okay, now you're going to say, oh, that's an OT app. That's not a literacy app. But the thing about this is you can choose your own target words. So now you've just turned it into a literacy app. So I will usually choose the word hi because they use that. They can use that 20, 50 times a day. I'll choose their name. I'll choose the word bye. I'll choose bathroom. or something that's going to be really functional for these students to learn. And it's a snap to make your own list. Many times I have the students go in and they create their own list. Okay, so that's touch and write. Laura, you're going to tell me when I'm... Okay. And touch and write's not the only one. Write My Name does the same thing, but it does it with sparkles, really pretty. And Little Writer does it with, as you can see, some apples and some different kinds of animations. Little Writer, the one down there at the end, is free. Bitsboard Pro is another really nice literacy app. It has 9 different games, and it takes you from just being able to label to being able to spell and put it in sentence and then keyboard it out. There is a free version. Bitsboard Pro lets you determine some of the words you can put in there. Oh, last one. This is always a good one to end on. I'm so glad you got to see this. This is one of my favorite ones. Half of people here are going to say, oh my God, oh that's, mm-mm. And the other half are going to go, oh my God, thank you. I've been looking for this forever. So you create your own avatar here. Whoops, where'd she go? This is a great way to end. And you always have to see the animation. It's from Avakid.
Avakid. See me go potty.
Okay, so we can choose, do we want to see the child go pee pee poo poo or have an accident? Creating visual schedules, visual prompts for this particular hygiene activity is difficult. You ever search the web for a little boy in the bathroom? You know, you get labeled a creeper or something. So this is nice. It supports my kids learn this by heart. They love it. It's kind of motivating. So we're going to just take a quick look at.
Go potty, please. Walk, walk, walk to the bathroom. Pants down. Sit down on the potty. I'm going pee-pee. Get toilet paper. Wipe. Pants up. Flush. Bye-bye, pee-pee. Wash hands. Dry hands. I did it!
Super cute for if you're having difficulty finding a visual schedule. Now, if I have enough time, we can watch her go, remember to? Yeah.
Go potty, please. Walk, walk, walk to the bathroom. Pants down. Sit down on the potty. I'm going poo-poo. Get toilet paper. Wipe. Is it clean? Nope. Wipe. Again. Is it clean? Yes. Pants up. Flush. Bye-bye, poo-poo. Wash hands. Dry hands. I did it!
Yay! And you know how I know this works? Because my kids will do that as soon as they dry their hands. They throw their hands up and say, I did it. So I know that this is where they got it. So I think my time's up. I've had a great time. Please go to the website. Thank you.